And to introduce our players, we have Nur 109, a player that we've seen matches for in the past on the Axis Powers, and we have Kashdalak. Kashdalak.
Can't say I'm familiar with either.
I think we've seen both. We've seen Nur. I'm not sure if he won or not. Hard to remember when we're casting so much. But
Mm.
yeah, it's no, we have basically very standard builds coming. Players actually no, right away we see ally player going for infrastructure day one in Matruh, and also going for a naval base day one in Matruh.
Stream on Discord. Young man, now I need to see this infrastructure.
Oh yeah, yeah, he's going
No, you're
for
fine.
infrastructure, and he's also going for the railway. We've seen that before, mostly because the railway isn't connected from Cairo to Ruh. So,
Hmm.
but the naval base makes me think that he's gonna try to go for Malta day one.
Should be. I feel like even just trying it is important. Whether or not you actually think you're going to get it, I think that just there's been a fair few games that we've seen where someone just inadvertently leaves himself open just because they don't think their opponent's going to go for it.
And
Hank is
let's
included.
yes, Dank is included. Let's just introduce the map changes real quick. I know we were talking about them earlier, but just for the sake of any new viewers, or maybe this is the VOD that gets chosen to get put on YouTube. Um, so there are major changes on this map. The biggest change, of course, being that there's now 2 new victory points. So you still need to have a majority of the victory points, which is 3 out of 5. But now there is Chania, which is part of Crete. So it's not the entire island of Crete. It's just Chania, which is on Crete. Tobruk, not Tobruk, sorry. Benghazi, Wadan, Gabez, and Malta. So those are the 5 victory points. Another change is that Malta isn't Omega resources. So in the previous versions of Commanders in Conflict, Sonnenblume, Malta, for some reason, had double the resources that Gabez and Benghazi had, making it extra valuable. And what we saw is that the player who got Malta first and held Malta always had a bigger advantage than the player who didn't have, right? Um, uh, but yeah, besides that, we can see that the front is also wider around Africa, and in Algeria, Libya region. I think this is actually all Libya. Oh, not Algeria, just Libya. Nice American geography there. Um, but yeah, in the Libya region, also the logistics hubs is completely different, with now 2 disconnected fly hubs just chilling over here that you can connect with railways later on as you push. Wadan also being a victory point that gives no strategic, while Gabez, Benghazi, Crete, and Malta all giving spread out strategic. No point gives considerable amount. I think actually all give. No, they do not. Malta and the 2 islands do give chromium and tungsten, not, and there is more aluminum, steel in Benghazi and Gabez. But what do you think about these map changes, Gold?
I think for the better, it makes the map a lot more competitive. As it was before, it was very prone to snowballing, and I think that when you put it all into consideration, now there's a lot more approaches that you can use. Obviously, paratroopers are still just as important, but now there's an actual like huge reason to go Navy beyond just taking a cheap naval invasion onto Malta. You can actually leverage it into being able to get like massive advantages in early positioning in central Libya, more so than before because of how the supply hubs are structured. I think just like overall, the map changes make it so there's a lot more dynamic to how you build your country and which paths you choose.
Yeah. And of course, if this is your first time watching Commanders in Conflict, what it the, oh actually scratch that. Sorry to interrupt myself. The Axis player going for 2 dockyards. 2
We have seen
dockyards.
this before, but not building. He did the focus.
Yes. We've seen it before where he takes the focus first. But yeah, he's building 2 dockyards first. And a chatter asks, has there been big changes to national focuses? No, actually, I don't think any of the focuses have been touched. I could be wrong on that, but I don't think any focuses have been touched.
The,
There has been general changes, though, right?
the plan is to change the focuses on the next season with season 2. That's what I've been told. That's what he
Which
said.
season 2 should be after the Open. So
Yes.
the Open is basically qualifiers for anyone out there who wants to play. Even you. Maybe you're watching this on YouTube. Maybe you're watching this on Twitch. You can join the Speed 5 official Discord, and you can sign up to play in these games and potentially qualify for season 2, which should be in June. I don't want to get my dates wrong, but season 2 should be happening around in June, where we're going to see big name CMOPs, that guy from college, Discard Pixel, as well as our open qualifier winners. So people that do the best in the league. Right now, we're in the league stages of the open tournament. So basically, you just go in on Sundays, you sign up for games, and you get league points for winning games. And I believe the people that have the highest league points will basically face off in the end and qualify themselves to play in season 2.
This is correct. I have nothing more to add on that. It is true.
Yes. Yeah, so again, like I was saying, it's very standard for players to go for the industry paths first. It's like very, very standard. Everyone goes for industry first, specifically the mills. Maybe if you're playing on Nanshin Ra, the Pacific map in the Pacific, maybe one of these days we'll get a very interesting map on the Pacific one day. I'm blanking, sorry. Yeah, it's very standard for people to go for industry, and then they go for the XP guys from their military chiefs. We can see that the Axis player has opted for the military chief and then the air chief. Meanwhile, the ally player going for just the naval chief. So it's quite interesting to see the variance of the players. The person that went the 2 dockyards first decided to not go for the naval guy first, while the guy that didn't go for the dockyards and the one that's actually going for the infrastructure in Matruh is deciding to instead go for the Navy experience guy. And he's actually building boats. He's building... Are these some... Wait, these are kind of high IC. These are battleships. Oh no, battle cruiser.
Why would you make that? I might not know why you do this. Usually, there's not much of a time frame for them to really matter, so it's preferable to refit. I'd be curious why he's electing to do this instead of just making the ones he spawns in better, because there's a lot of room for improvement on them.
I think this is just purely for naval superiority.
Is that how that works? I thought naval superiority is an extension of heavy attack, or whatever just your attack stat is. Someone in chat can fact check me on this. I'd be very curious to see why you would want to do this.
Someone in chat says it's measured by manpower of ship, not by IC.
Is that how that works? Really?
I didn't know that's how that worked. That's actually really interesting. So battleships would be the best. Well, actually, carriers would be the best because they use the most manpower. But
damn, that's one of the things. That's one of the intricacies that I had no idea about. I did not know that it's determined by manpower. Even so, that is such a. I just of all the ways to approach it, this is.
I'm actually wrong. Battleships do have more manpower.
Surely you could do a variant where you go like cruisers. Can you make like naked cruisers that have more manpower?
You gotta go for the super heavy ship. But no, it's battle cruisers would be the most IC efficient if you're trying to go for the max amount of supremacy.
Battle cruisers are most IC efficient. Fortnite did a video on that. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, that makes
sense. I've heard of you guys on this.
Yeah, I was
sort of intricacy is lost on me. I don't know. This is very specific niche. I have no clue on. But now I know, actually. Now I'm learning from it, too. I had no idea that's how that worked.
Well, apparently that's how naval superiority works. Interestingly enough, the Axis player who opted in to build the dockyards isn't building anything. He's just building convoys. Meanwhile, the guy that didn't build dockyards, who's still building infrastructure. By the way, this infrastructure is not even done yet. Was this the play? Because these dockyards aren't going to even be done by this naval base is not going to even be done by the time of war. But he's going to have, by the time of war, he's going to have one of these battle cruisers out. with his spawn in. I imagine that he's probably gonna go for Commonwealth.
I, I mean, with the way he's building ships, I feel like he's trying to create a build where he doesn't need to do that. Because you're already gonna have naval supremacy if you go the Commonwealth usually. So why even build like why waste IC on the ships?
To make sure you get it in case they go Japan. I don't know.
I mean, but you could. I mean, you see what I mean? Like that's just such an edge case. And I don't even think Japan is that good now with the map changes.
Yeah.
Again, I didn't know the reason why he would do that ship. It was only after chat informed me, so I could very easily be missing once more. In case Caster's interested, I just won against Axis with Canadian first on Sonnenblume. Subs are very important too for both sides. I completely agree.
Yeah, subs.
If you use them right, you could starve the island.
Okay, and now we're seeing Kadchalak. He's going for basic medium SPs, which are 7 IC. I think he's going to do this. These are like max defense, breakthrough, but low. Well, actually, reliability is not bad at all. And it's a 3-man turret. You don't need to open structure for anti-air. Not know that. But I'm guessing he's gonna do Space Marine. Basically, if you put the armor division SP anti-air as support, it could give enough armor. Basically, make it so your entire division. Sub 3s are allowed. Sub 3s are allowed. Yes, subs would probably be really big. But yeah, now that he's not going for the agency, so the infrastructure is going to finish. The naval base is also going to finish. So I was wrong on that, especially with the IC boost from infrastructure. But yes, sub 3s are allowed, but snorkels are banned for sub 3s and sub 4s are banned. Mostly because they're just like no counter in this kind of situation. I'm too powerful.
It's a paradox moment, in case people are wondering.
Paradox Interactive. And it is Japan, so you know that's a point for Habibi.
They're just playing chess. I'm out here playing checkers. What can I say? That is
but you're
crazy.
right though. Actually, it's actually the opposite. I can take the L. I'll take the L on the chin. He is going Soviets, and he is building the battle cruisers. Supremacy because he is going Soviets on the Kajtal.
The dopamine is starting to come. Is this it? Is this finally it? Surely, right? Surely this is what we've been waiting for. No, wait, no, I'm projecting. Surely this is what I've been waiting for.
Yeah.
I mean, someone in chat, please correct me here. Am I mistaken in thinking this is actually it? Breaking subs up into small groups of 1 or 2 can wreck supply, and then if the enemy defends convoys with their fleet, you can choose when to commit all your fleet. Yeah, but that's just holding convoys hostage. That's just the way the game works at that point. I know that you can bait it by doing small groups because it will instant detect on the next, because the cooldown will only apply on the original sub,
Yeah.
but still. It's dumb anyway. Like, if you ever do a naval invasion, they'll just stay stuck in the sea zone. They won't move. Again, that's just because Paradox thought it was a good idea to make it so divisions that are in movement in the ocean, like they can't continue moving through tiles when they're intercepted, which is dumb.
So yeah, we're seeing Japan, as we were saying. If we look at the construction line for the Axis player, he's opting in to go for infantry weapon 1 and infantry. What? What's the point of this? Doing the same gun twice. I guess he's gonna switch one of them. He's gonna switch one of them probably.
This is a tale someone has said that if you do it like this, you get marginally more production cap increase.
Oh,
I think that's why you do that. Someone can fact check me yet again. I'm deferring to chat like basically everything at this point, but I think that's why you do that, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. I'm assuming he's gonna switch one of them. Yeah, he switched one of them to infantry gun. So he keeps the production line on gun 1. Keep in mind that is now a change. We did just get patch 1.1 of commanders in conflict, and that is now a change that we see that you don't start with infantry gun 2, you start with infantry gun 1 now. You start with artillery 1 now, and not artillery. That's a change that was recently made in the most recent patch of conflict, which is getting updated. You can play it for yourself on the Steam market. Just search Commanders in Conflict. It will be the most subscribed one. And we see the Axis player is going for classic air fighters and casts, committing more on the cast than on the air. No support artillery, but Toad anti-air queued up, which I think he's letting his doing special projects, so he's doing still. And by the way, he almost has 100% allied player. But
You gotta be careful if you do that. By the way, if he doesn't fix that, he will have a 50% penalty on his naval supremacy. So even though the strat of him building the ships to get more supremacy, it won't work because he'll take it. Like he'll literally won't be able to launch to Crete. I'm sorry to cut you off there, but he needs to be careful.
oh, he has 100. The allied player also has 100 though. So they
What
have
am I
100 on each
watching?
other.
Wait,
The
did I see that right? Is he boosting ideology?
Wait, isn't that banned?
Oh, he's lowering stability.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Okay, that's is that not banned?
Boosting ideology is banned.
But
Propaganda.
reduce propaganda is okay.
Propaganda is okay. I'm pretty sure.
That's so sick. That's something. That's right up my playbook. I love that type of shit. What's the stability penalty at right now?
We're seeing some different things. Right now, there's no
This guy's
stability.
my spirit animal.
Right now, it's just -8, but it is going weekly 0.6. That's actually
Oh
quite
my
considerable.
god, that is so smart. I love.
He's going for passive events
what
now.
I would do.
And he just captured an operative. He just captured all operative, so now it's less. And now it's less. But he's going for the passive defense. It's funny. He just went for one level of passive defense and he caught one. And now they both have 100% spy network on one another. Speaking of the allied players build, he is going for the support anti-tank. Yeah, look, he's doing the Space Marines, which is allowed. So you have support anti-air, and you also have the medium SP anti-air.
Though.
It's a very weird template.
No soft attack.
It has a lot of supports, like a lot of supports. Does he even have enough?
I mean, the defense for this? The defense is good, and the air attack is incredible. 54 air attack is amazing, but like you need to put some SPGs. Are they making SPGs?
No,
it's
no
just
SPGs.
only STA. Look how many SPA they can make a day. By the way, like imagine if you just incorporated like just 1 or 2 SPGs. The template would have like 200 soft attack base, and it would have 55 essentially air attack. Like you would literally just wall him. Like you're making 4 a day.
And the divisions are going out. He is setting up the naval invasions with 12 wits. But interestingly enough, he's going for it's a lot on support. Even his cavalry brigade has supports. A lot on supports, more than what we've seen other players have. And then if we look at the Axis players division, he's going more focused on air, which we've seen. We see more of, right? Players focus less on supports, and they focus more on just air. He's going for a let's look quickly at his CAS build. Triple bomb locks, double arm plates, drop tanks, and then if we look at the fighter, improve all air or air. It is. He's going for double cannons, light machine guns, no heavy machine guns. Not sure if that's a mistake or on purpose. Drop tanks, double arm. He is reducing now on fighters and now fully committing to CAS on the side of the Axis. Maybe he with his intel, yeah, he's probably seeing with his spy network that he's going no air on. Yeah, he has full intel on the Axis, right, on the allied player, so he can see that there's no air coming out. So why focus on fighters, right? But the air attack is insane on these divisions. Very, 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 very good air attack. And we've seen if you're not going air, it can work, but you need to have at least anti-air supports too, or you need some kind of weird build like this. This works too. You don't really need as much air. CAS will be negligent, right? When you have this much air attack, right? There you go. There's the artillery too. Let's see if he ramps up more and adds the supports. He can't even add the supports, but if he was, wait, no, he already has the support in there. But yeah, even with that, it's still a 90 soft attack. Gonna get one more division out, one more month left. Just to take a peek at the Navy here, he has, will this be enough for naval superiority? I don't think so, actually, because the Axis player has opted in for, yeah, look at this. Look at this. If he does strike force on Central Med and Crete, can't he just get naval supremacy on all tiles day one compared to what the ally player has?
Yes, but again, I don't know how it works out with the manpower fleets because he's got 3 carriers, and technically he could get like 1 or 2 battle cruisers out. So maybe he's able to deny him the supremacy because when you're at the edge of your task force range, you take a penalty. So it really just depends on how the projection works. I don't know. Looking at this instinctively, I really truly do not know.
Well, we're gonna have to wait and see because both
It's
players
gonna
are
be
trying to go
so
for naval
spicy.
superiority. Yeah,
The SPAA, I need to see how that pans out on the template. I feel like that could be weak. I mean, he's already got cruisers. He might actually be able to deny him
keep in
Crete.
mind the Axis player, he is now building anti-tank, but there's nothing in his divisions yet. There's no support anti-tanks. He's just
A long
using
process.
he's just using raw 12 wits. It's all just raw 12 wits.
And the best part is too is that the SPAA aren't inherently cheesy. So when he eventually starts getting penned, like they still have a lot of utility. Like they're serving a purpose.
Yeah. And he's
No,
making,
and also the higher your air attack, I believe it reduces the enemy air superiority bonus.
yeah.
So it
believe
wouldn't
so,
be, I
too.
mean, like 1 a day, he'll be able to keep cranking out. I think it's like you need 20 per battalion that's in the template. So he's able to supply very well.
Yeah, and then now keep in mind the ally player still hasn't gotten the minus 10% medium tank production. So the
Here we go.
war has begun. But you know, this is gonna even be less IC, right? This is gonna be minus 0.7. You got looking at 6.6 IC for these divisions, and he has the tank divisions as well, which have 80% stockpile, or 80 tanks stockpiled. But you know, interestingly enough, he didn't go for the IS-2, so these tanks aren't as good as we've seen yet. So bad, right? Wait, what? Can't be right. Okay, there you go. But yeah, we've seen these divisions spawn in with like 300 soft attack. If you take the IS program first, then you take the second tank corps, the tanks that you spawn in are better.
Nope, Timoshenko's ill. L.
Oh.
I mean, he wasn't able to launch for Crete, but is are the Axis able to? Because his supremacy will get penalty, but sometimes you have weird cases where neither party has enough. It's jank, but
both don't.
Oh, he's not going for Crete.
Yep. Both don't have superiority. Wait, are they caught? Yeah. Wait, are they caught? Yeah, they're just caught.
Oh. Ooh. What's going on here? Convoys are getting raided, so he's getting Malta a little later, but that means it doesn't matter anyway.
Yeah, there you go. Malta's taken by the Axis player, but he's not going for Crete. He could potentially start setting up a naval invasion because he does have enough. Yeah, the Axis player does have enough to go for Crete. Going for the Japan routes.
But the thing is he's hedging his bets almost because eventually he'll make enough battle cruisers to be able to get supremacy. Like he's just gonna keep making them. You see what I mean?
Yeah, but he's not making.
So it's gonna pan out.
He's not making convoys.
But as long as he blocks the naval zones, if he connects the railroad to the ports, even if you block the zones, they count as supply hubs. So he should be fine.
You can see that he's
that's what he's doing right now. Yeah, so he's smart. He knows what he's doing, but he should block the zone now and then just eat the supply loss. I think it's preferable. And yeah.
He's losing.
Also, do me a solid. Check in on the stability right now of the Germans. Let's see what they're at now.
Minus 17. Minus 14. He's at 70.
Yeah, he takes a war support penalty, doesn't he? Whenever he gets propaganda. It's stability and war support, right? He might get mutinies.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Oh my god, he might actually get mutinies. I love this tech. Oh my fucking god.
This is truly some new tech.
No, is he on War Eco? Is he on War Eco, by the way?
No, neither player's on War Eco.
If he goes up to
he can't go. He can't even do War Eco.
Oh my fucking god.
The Axis player actually is blocked from doing War Eco. Keep in mind
that is now, so clever.
Oh, naval invasion's launching now, and Crete is going for the Axis player. Crete. Yeah. So the Axis player now will have an advantage. He will have the victory point advantage. He's gonna have 3 of the victory points compared to the 2. He's now actually going the civ focuses on Japan. He's not doing the rest of his Japan focus.
The thing is though, is if memory serves, when you're underneath 50% war support during a war, it's a mean time to happen event that you get like
the ally player was able to launch at some point. I'm not sure how. I think maybe he just collected
the fleet probably got into combat for the day and then he was able to launch briefly. Good shit. Okay.
Launch. So yeah, actually the ally player has an advantage.
No, keep an eye out on if he has the supply hub in the mountain though, crucially. So while he does have the city, he has the supply hub. It's really defendable.
Yeah, he has the supply up, but he needs to connect
Just
like he's doing right now.
what's it called? Just check in sporadically if the German player ends up getting a mutiny event.
Let's just stay at the German perspective so we can see that.
Yeah, let's just keep an eye out on that.
Yeah.
I feel also is he getting shot down over Libya with so much air attack on the template? He must be. So he's not casting. Interesting. Okay.
He's not casting yet, but he is losing fighters right now. Just by putting up his fighters, he's losing fighters.
Yeah, accidents. He lost some of the accidents. That's funny.
Oh, now he's losing some cast. Shot down by AA.
Yeah,
the fighters are
they should be
accidents.
brutal.
The cast is shot down by AA, and that's just by putting them up for 1 tick. By the way. Dang. The SB tech, SBA tech. Can he pierce these divisions? Oh, he can't pierce. So he can't pierce the divisions. Axis player now needs to scramble for anti-tank. He is getting more anti-tank right now. Yeah, you can see.
But he's
now
lacking
more
on it. He only has
anti-tank.
1 on it.
He's got 2 now. He's got 2. Yeah. Making 1.25 a day, but he needs to get more if he's gonna try to put him in. He is pushing really hard for this. Allied players rushing to get his fly route in because this is a disconnected route. He's really close. 28th of February, he will complete this railroad. I believe this is the one that he needs.
I mean, once the supply hub, I mean, is it already projecting supply, by the way? I mean, his supply seems fantastic. Is it just because the port is enough at Agalia?
I think the port is enough at Agalia. He is losing a lot of convoys. He's already lost about 30 convoys from the start of war. He has to be careful because he's not making any convoys. Not making any convoys at all. Where are his dockyards? Oh, they're repairing boats. So that other battle cruiser out won't be out for a while. But he's already got Crete, right? Doesn't matter anymore. You got Crete. Now, if you just get Wadan, you win, right? As
just watching, the way he's approaching the game is, in my opinion, pretty clever because because he went Japan and he went industry, like eventually he'll outscale. And so even with this tank build that the Soviets are doing, I feel like he needs to be careful at being able to convert it into like a meaningful gain because he will just start falling behind in equipment. Again, this is not to say that like the bonuses you get on the Soviets counterbalance, but if he falls asleep at the game, like he could easily just have it be impossible to be able to just bring it back within like a reasonable time frame. At this point, I'm just waiting to see if the lower his war support gets, if he drops to sub 40, then I think the chance of mutinies goes up. And it's a huge penalty too.
And you can even see that the Axis player is now spending on passive defense now because probably noticing how much his war support and ability is decreasing.
Brutal.
From the propaganda.
This ability gets lowered too. The lower the war support, so it's just a vicious cycle.
I'm gonna just stay on the Axis.
So clever. That's so clever.
They're able to push though. Juicy. Axis is pushing now 1 tile. The divisions take 50% less damage, of course, because they are Space Marines. They do have the tank divisions. Okay,
it's now back on the battle.
Yeah, it's now actually going.
Yeah, look at the cast. The cast is still damaging. That's the problem. Even when you go AA, you still get org penalties. So he's just getting cast during last stand, which is like amplifies how bad it is.
Yeah, the cast damage for 240 uncontested
lose a lot,
casts is not.
Like,
oh my god!
50,
oh,
right? You see what?
Whoa! Did you just watch that tick?
Yeah, that's 20 a tick.
Ah!
Okay. Oh my god, that is.
Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
Yo, that ain't looking too hot. Oh god.
He's losing all of his casts. We're just one more. Let's get one more.
Yeah, hit different. Maybe they hit different.
Okay, he stopped pushing because wait, he stopped losing. He stopped losing casts. Oh no, never mind. There's another 11.
Ooh, can you swap the tab to months? Click months on the tab. Where you were? Yeah, click months. Okay, just double checking. I just wanted to make sure we weren't getting lied to. Just set it back to days. You're fine.
Why is months less than days? Who knows?
It's just a weird quirk.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awful. He lost think about that in terms of IC, right? He's going down the focuses to get extra civs, and the IC he built is literally gone.
Oh,
there it is.
Oh, God. The propaganda tech.
Look at his spirit. Right click him and look at his spirit. Okay, that's not. He got the good one. He got extremely lucky because he could have gotten immunities, which is a 25% attack and defense penalty.
Oh
It
my
actually
god.
worked though. Look at his
The
political power. He spent
propaganda
200
tech.
to solve it. He spent 200. He did the max option. Oh my fucking god. That's oh my god. He went Soviets and did spy bullshit. Oh, it's what I wanted. I'm gonna bust.
Yeah, the Axis player now, he's probably scrambling a little bit. He probably was thinking, okay, you know, I can scale out here. I got 3 of the victory points. But unless he can, I don't know, what do you even do? Do you, once this guy, he's got an operative coming in 6 days
I
now.
think
He's going passive defense, and I think he's just going to put this operative on defense, right?
the thing is going counter intel. It doesn't stop the modifier you receive.
I
Like
don't
the
think
higher your
so.
counter intel is, it doesn't affect propaganda. All it does is affect capture chance. It like he thinks as if it's like an operation. He should still do counter intel just because there's so many spies operating. But that being said, like in this position, he literally just watched him lose like 100 planes worth of IC and like a week of combat. Like he needs to completely pivot off of going planes and start making a counter division. I'd probably do just some cheap tank here. Otherwise, you got to go like special forces, go like fully decked out infantry because they are space marine. Just grab like 1 or 2 battalions of TD, and then you should be fine. But like here, like the current plan he's doing, I don't think it'll work. So long as the Soviets properly respond and actually follow up, it's like a ticking time bomb. If that makes any sense, like this
Yeah.
will not work for another like a few months.
Yeah. Well, you know, the allied player, the Axis player is now putting out his air, dude. He actually took out his air.
Good to keep
The
it up.
the Axis player, yeah,
I
it
mean,
actually was hurting him
the
so badly trying to keep him.
I guess someone in chat once more, correct me if I'm wrong here. If you logi strike in a zone that has units with AA, do the planes get shot down? No, right?
I don't
It's
think they
only if the
do.
division is in combat that it gets counted for the AA static, right?
I don't think they
I'm
do,
pretty sure
but
that's how that
please someone
works.
in chat correct us if we're wrong. You know, but keep in mind, guys, the allied player has to make a play at some point, right? He has 2 of the 5 victory points. So even though the allied player is right now making the Axis player's war support and stability crumble using spies, and he also has this insane anti-air divisions, he has to at some point go for Wadan, which is gonna be quite hard. There has to be some kind of breakthrough here at some point. What is the ally player's plan? He's making heavy tanks. That's his plan. How cheap are these heavy tanks? He's going for heavy tank 3s, which have a IC cost of 18. That's
That's
pretty
cheap.
good. That's pretty cheap
What
for
are
a
the?
heavy tank.
I mean, it's extremely like especially for those modules. How does that work? I like that he put fuel drums. It actually increases the fuel capacity by 100, which is massive when you consider it because
Isn't it like
he's
almost
fighting.
double? Or no, it's like 50%
Uh,
more.
I like how he named the template. Did
No,
you see
it's
what he
not.
named the template, by the way? Absolute Sigma Octillionaire grind set.
Golden sweat dreams.
My God, he is my spirit animal. Oh my God.
Are you sure you're not just playing here?
Yeah,
Oh, and
this is my
there's the naval
puppeteer.
invasions. Oh, the naval invasions.
Everyone is.
19. Are they gonna be
Yeah,
able
but
to
look at that.
hold?
Yeah, too bad you can't pierce my brother in Christ. That is unfortunate.
You know what is really unfortunate though. I guess he had to spawn it in, but because he didn't go for the ISU first, he didn't spawn in the good tank. He does get
Yeah,
100 in the stockpile right away by going that, right? So the automatically replaces. By the way, he's changed the division up. This is what it looks like now. He's got some of the SP anti-air in there too.
that armor is cracked. The breakthrough's really high.
Oh
The
my
fuel
god, the
capacity is
armor.
pretty good.
The
Honestly, what I would
support is not good enough. Support AAT is not good enough.
he should. I would be very curious to see someone test out going a tank division like this, where you swap one of the modules to have 2 different fuel drums. Because at that point, the fuel capacity of the tank division is going to be so fucking high.
Yeah.
He should probably give that a try. Honestly,
Yeah,
I mean,
what is the response here as the Axis player? You can see the Axis player now, he's scrambling to
I don't know.
fix the play.
I
Wait, no, actually
honest to
he's
God, I
countered.
don't know.
He's doing propaganda instead of Giga Chad, Omega
Uh,
Chad, instead of
oh,
just
look
trying
at
to
this.
catch spies on himself. He's like, "Okay, you are doing propaganda in me, I'll do propaganda in you."
That is
Luigi does
incredibly
a
soy. That is incredibly soy. I do not like
I
this. I do not like
disagree.
this at all. This
I
is very
disagree.
soy.
I think it's soy
He's
to try to catch
copying
him.
a better strat. I can't believe this. This is disgusting.
I disagree. I think it's incredibly
But,
soy to just try
I
to
mean,
catch the operatives in yourself.
either way though, like honestly, I really, if I'm the Axis here, I have no idea what I would do. Truly, because it's you know that if you go into tanks, that the Soviets have better tech than you, and they're able to produce it cheaper, right? And to make matters worse, they have a general and a country leader that specifically buffs tanks. So if you
Yeah.
go 1-to-1, you will fall behind, both industrially and with stats.
I
On
think
the other hand, if you go planes, that also won't work.
you know what? I think here's the play, man. If I'm the Axis player, I could be wrong here. By the way, he's Axis player again, trying to do a push, but he's not able to pierce the heavy tank division, and even though he puts up his cast, on these cast 6, he's losing a lot.
Oh no, not again! Not
Yeah,
again!
he's losing
Little
his
bro's
gas
putting
again.
his planes to die. That's tough.
Oh, and the draft reform works, so he's countering the thing. The
He's still
play.
underneath 50 though.
Did the ally player even need to last stand here? I guess he could, but like the tank is not even losing any org, by the way. It
It takes no
loses
strength.
no
What's the
org.
penalty? Can you mouse over the shield and see
It's
what the strength penalty?
65%. 65. If 9 division 65, 350. So the support anti-tank I think are coming in now and coming into play.
Ooh, wait, he lost the port though. He folded.
Oh.
He still has the railroad. He just needs to make sure that the tile stays in permanent combat. He should probably pull garrisons over because I know he has extra divisions to stop that. He needs to be careful here because he can actually throw the game.
Has to be very careful actually because
Yeah, he has to. He has to make sure that the port never reorgs
the Axis
because now he's gonna have
players.
supply problems.
Well,
Ooh.
oh, now he's actually cut off from supply.
Yeah, he didn't. Okay, now he's throwing. I like the build, but like he can't make dumb mistakes like that. This could easily cost them too. What's the status on the tank division, by the way? How long until it gets out? Does he only have that one in the center?
Yeah, that's the only one, but it has no supply now.
Is there anything else in training?
No.
What's the
Oh wait,
stockpile?
sorry, I'm had the wrong thing. He has
What-
2 in
what
training.
what's the logistics? How many more does he need? I get the mech. What's just the tanks? 200 days. This is not fast enough. Okay. And he's making one a day with
this is a
8.
big
This another-
fumble. This is actually a huge fumble.
How
from
much
that.
time is
Oh my
there
god,
left
this
in
is
the
a
game?
huge fumble. There's still a lot of
No,
time.
he's force attacking though, so he's fine. He'll get out. But 300 days, and I don't know. He would have to put. What's his industry looking like? Can you look at how the factories are set up? Just like quickly go through them. You'd probably go down on everything that's not essential. Get rid of the. I'd probably just get rid of the arty, the improved anti-air. Go down on infantry equipment.
Looking really rough for that ally player. Things were looking so good for him too.
It's just he fucked up losing the port for no reason. We didn't catch what it was, but that's
It
like
was a naval invasion, but it was like a big naval invasion.
Yeah, but he had the division on there that was a Space Marine. He should have been able to hold it. So long as he didn't get cheesed with the cast, if he puts an extra 2 divisions in the tile, he should be perfectly fine.
Oh no,
Like,
and now he's about to get cut off. I mean, no, actually the tank is holding, but it's in the reserves. It's not even in the fight.
as long as he keeps it retreating, he can make a new line at Benghazi just because the terrain there is suitable.
And Benghazi's being encircled.
Yeah, he needs to get out. Hopefully he's retreating all the divisions properly and just stagger retreating. This is
I
bad.
mean, the Axis player took
it's
the advantage
really
he
bad.
had. He actually used the advantage he had, which was the naval, right? And now Benghazi's falling. He can cut off the Axis player. He can catch a lot here. He can just get this tank into play, get it supplied.
I mean, he's threatening his rear, so
And there goes. Supply hub is gone for the Axis player, for the Ally player.
yeah.
And
Okay,
he's
so as long as he
deployed the
restablishes
tanks.
the line, he deployed them early. He should. They would honestly have a better use training because the manpower is already in the template. So if he starts training them now, once they get more equipment, they'll already be regulars, which I feel like is like 90% of what needs to happen.
One of the tanks is very low strength. Very, very low strength.
He needs to train them. If he uses shitter, no strength tank division, it's terrible. I guess the only thing that could save him short term is if he rolls the mutinies event, because him getting draft dodgers is very unlucky for the allied player. That's like literally the best one he could have gotten. You could have even gotten like industrial strikes too, but I think that one's a stability dependent event instead of war support. Again, someone can fact check me.
Allied player now is crumbling under the pressure. He now holds one of the points that he needs, which is in Crete.
He'll have to retreat to Brook. That's the closest alternative supply hub he could get. He'll have to start building ports as well. I feel like that's what we should be doing right now.
And now
Retreat, consolidate a line.
oh,
The best
and now
thing you could do.
Crete, naval invasion. It's failing though.
He should. It's like what 3 divisional? Yeah, he should be fine.
There are 3 divisions with the shovels. But yeah, it's just
Honestly,
going back and back.
The best course of action here is you retreat to Tobruk, make as dense of a line as you possibly can, continue to wait and hedge your bets for the tanks to scale, and then in the meantime, you should be converting your sibs to mills, just so you get your industry faster for the push. Because if you allow him too much time, he'll be able to make like a pocket at Benghazi that can waste a lot of time, and then you have 2 different fronts between the mountains of Benghazi and the internal desert. It'll be brutal because there will be no supply hub. Because think about it, like if he holds on the city itself and not the entire front line, it's really hard to push in further. Like that's what we do in our games, the BoBG games, if you've seen it before.
Yeah.
So it's just like, it's an impossible situation if he sets himself up for failure. But he is retreating, he's making a denser line. He'll start running out of supply soon. Once he gets all the way adjacent to Brook, assuming he doesn't lose the
oh
port,
my god,
it'll
these
be really
divisions
rough.
right here is making me anxious. Okay, they got out.
He's gonna lose the supply hub there too. That's even worse now. Now he has to retreat completely.
Oh no.
He probably have to go all the way back to Marsamutra.
I mean, if he can hold Marsamutra, reorg, get strength on these
You see the
tanks.
divisions?
I think he needs to
They're
delete
on
one of the
supply on
tanks,
the eastern
honestly.
front.
I think he needs
He
to
should
delete one of the
consolidate it.
Yeah.
Don't delete it. Consolidate. It's the best solution. He also made an error. I know he owned the states. He should have blown up Benghazi and Sirte, but he didn't.
You know, we're seeing the map changes in play here, making this a lot more interesting.
Yeah, it's a lot harder to hold in this
honestly.
position. I mean, he's holding on to Brook, but again, he lost his supply hub in the south.
Oh! Look how much Cass he's killed, though.
That's yeah, okay, that's brutal. He's down to 49 cat total. Oh, he should retreat onto Brook. He should use the port.
No, he's got more, right? 300, but he's losing.
Okay,
Yeah,
I looked at the fighters.
Yeah.
Whoops.
He's got to get out to Brook. Oh, the tank division deleted. The tank division got strength
It
deleted.
didn't have full strength anyway. Again, it's not that big of a deal. If he doesn't hold its city baron, then I think oof.
I think he holds this line though. There's no way he loses. He needs to remove his.
You
divisions
say
though.
that, but I don't see it. He's getting pushed permanently. The cast is getting produced fast enough that even though he's taking horrific losses, he's still taking like he's still casting. Like look at the penalty. Even though it's 5 a tick, that adds up. Like that's the only reason why he's able to push this far.
I'm rooting for the underdog here. He's got only 1 point left, but he's got right now 250 days left to get Benghazi and Wadan. And honestly, though, I have to say that the Axis player playing this really well. Really well, given the circumstances. He did exactly what he needed to do. Used what he added to take advantage. Anti-tank supports.
Getting that naval invasion onto Brook was just devastating.
He just needed to make sure he held Tobruk. I felt like he had way too many divisions on the tiles next
My
to
geography?
Cloud.
We have bad geography. What's the name called? Elagalia?
Elagalia.
Yeah.
And he's moving forward with the tank here.
He finally made a line, but he should just pull the tank out of that because that's the next air zone.
That's the worst.
Okay.
Oh my god, that was like the worst decision to put this.
He's getting attacked by 5 different directions.
Yeah.
He's just, oh wow, he's just putting it. Stop using the front line. Okay, thank God. All right, you listen.
Oh my god. Ah!
I'm driving back in.
Oh my god. It does not help that he's losing a lot of equipment, but hey, at least he's producing a lot of heavy tanks really fast. He's producing heavy tanks very fast.
Again, this is just going back to what I told you before. Sure, he's been able to build up efficiency with the 2 factories on mechanized, but like, stop making fucking mechanized. I see it like it's so useless. Like, I really don't like the use, like building mechanized. It's such an icy sink. It's also using valuable rubber too, since the mechanized by itself costs so much.
76 days now on.
There's an angle. If he's able to consolidate the line and then do a really good push through the center, split him in 2, I can see a world where he can recover. He got time to entrench though. We'll see how many losses he takes on the way in. That being said, I will also say him electing to go for the Sibs does make a degree of sense, but I think finishing his country path is more important. He needs to get the bonus from Konev as the country leader, and he also needs to get the bonus from No Step Back. Like, he's getting 10% flat division attack, 5%, like, what is it, 15% recovery, 5% recovery. It adds up. Like, it's really important when you're getting in, like, permanent combat like this. And it's a
Here-
static bonus the Germans can't really get.
Oh, Axis player now going for a full naval invasion with no org.
Let's
I
go.
was just about to say this. Like, is this now the point as the Axis player? You just start doing the mass naval invasions on the ports.
Is he still making battle cruisers in the meantime?
Is the ally player still making battle cruisers? Yeah.
Okay, cool. So eventually he will have supremacy, hopefully.
He's built 2 of these battle cruisers so far.
There is a world where we can bring it back.
Actually, yeah, there's still 223 days. He did lose one of the tanks, but now he's re-strengthening his tanks. They're now 60 days away from putting put. And now air completely not up for Axis, by the way. There's just no air. What do you even do? Oh, whoa. For a second there, it looked like Crete was gonna fall, but he did the last stand right in time.
I mean, force attacking on that port, like, look at the losses. Those are horrific losses on both sides. And look at the cast damage, too. It's 140 strength damage, 127. Yeah, him not putting a division has when this naval battle ends, or when this invasion is up,
20 castics. Oh,
he should swap. He should swap the templates to be the SPAA and then allow convoy access. Because if he doesn't swap that to have AA, it's gonna doom him on the next one.
I think on the next push here, the Axis player gets this island.
Yeah, he needs to swap the template like immediately. Like, that's the only response.
Not looking good for allied bros here.
I don't know if the SPAA is worse or better than the cast. Feels like allies lost on this micro. Or
I mean, I feel like ally had it in the back, but he only had 1 division on Allegalia. I think that was a big problem. The thing is, these naval invasions. I think that these naval invasions work for the Axis player because he has so much cast, right?
Yeah.
He's again trying to push. Why doesn't he just wait for? Okay, why doesn't he just wait for full strength?
Who knows?
Oh my god, allied player is gonna actually lose Crete. He's gonna lose Crete.
That's brutal. Okay. I mean, he's getting choked out now. Something needs to change, and those tanks need to do a lot.
Ooh, this is just
right now. He's trying to do counterattack.
Way harder to win.
He needs to go Konev. He needs to consolidate his units. He needs to have a really small, cracked army with insane stats.
I think it went from like a 15% chance of victory to now like a 1% chance of victory. Because not only does he need to get Benghazi, Wadan, he needs Gabez. I scratch that. I say like a 0.1 chance of victory.
No, okay, that I would say that's too doomer. I'd say he has a 5% chance. Okay. Truly, I honestly believe
he has to get Gabez too. He has to get Gabez too, and the Axis player is starting to get his other focuses.
I stand by what I said.
He's got 226 spawn-ins. He's got the reconnaissance, division recovery rate, and then he also has got he already has the warrior spirit. So he's got the cheap last stand too, and now he's actually getting pushed back. You know, these tanks, I had so much hope for them, but now as the Axis player gets more industry, right? He's just producing more and more anti-tank. Yeah. He now has 5 on anti-tank with almost max efficiency. Doing really good on anti-tank. I believe it's this division right here that has support anti-tank. I think that's just enough to pierce. Oddly enough.
We'll have to see. I mean, this industry is just not keeping up. It's just too much.
Yeah, now Axis player is going for the snake. The big encirclement play is incoming. The wraparound. He's grabbing the backside of the allied player and going for Matruh.
Then it's going to go all through the port. Yeah, okay. Yeah, maybe I'm inclined to agree with you on that 1% chance.
I mean, I liked the build a lot. I liked it a lot. I really did like it a lot.
Too long. I think this is where having better IC management comes into play. I
Yeah.
think he didn't. I think he probably did.
Support
He didn't
Garrison
find the factories
Hegelia.
right.
There is like a lot of mistakes that were made,
I
unfortunately,
mean,
by the allied player.
you saw how many, just the sheer quantity of tanks you can crank out if you
Yeah,
build up efficiency early, and that's what he did with the SPAA. It's surprising to me that he didn't do the same for
the
just a
heavy tank.
mainline tank that he wanted to put in. Even if it's an outdated heavy tank, just being able to produce a template is so important. And it's not like the chassis really matters in so much as you can still get the turret that will give you most of the stats. Once you get to better tanks, you'll have insane armor like we saw, but having that
Hold
early
up.
game, like 400 soft attack units, important.
Nah, so, yeah, you're totally right, man. You're totally right. I was saying hold up just because he got one encircled, but there's potential for maybe another encirclement, but it's lost
If he
already.
had the supply, it seems like he hasn't realized that he should reopen the C zone at City Barani. So now he's not getting anything through the port, and because the railroad technically isn't connected, that supply hub, according to game logic, doesn't count. If he opens the zone, the units will get supply, but he just not doing, like, he at that point, like, screw the convoys. You have 100, just do it. And then
Yeah.
maybe he can counterattack. Like, if he wasn't on red supply right now, if that tank that's getting attacked at the port wasn't starving to death, I actually see a world where he
Oh,
gets a
oh,
miracle comeback.
oh,
But like now, it's just
oh
like
my God, that
I
is.
see a bike on my screen. Get that off my screen. Zoom out quick.
I'm zooming in on the bike. The bike division made all the difference. But yeah, that's 14 divisions encircled with no port. That is rough. That
Okay,
is
now,
very rough.
well, all right. Well,
Now it's a
Soviet
0% chance
Bros,
of winning.
Soviet Bros. I think we go next. I think we go next. Quick, quick.
I
FF.
think I think a lot of the thing is a lot of Soviet players don't realize is that you get Konev, right, when you go Red October. When
Yeah.
communists become the ruling party, you get Konev as a ruling. Yeah, and that's deleted all of his troops. GG. It was a
Fair
really
enough.
nice play from Allies. Actually, one of the most interesting matches we've seen on Sonnenblume. Seeing the changes, but yeah, Konev, you don't see that you get him from Red October. You see 20 submarines, and you go, "Oh man, like maybe." Actually, 20 submarines might have actually played a big impact.
It would
Uh,
have helped a lot, especially with the divisions that were naval invading at Crete.
yeah, especially with the naval invasions of Crete, you could shoot them while they're trying to do naval invasions. Um, but you don't see that you get Konev as a ruler, giving you that bonus to tanks.
Mhm.
But yeah, that is
Unfortunate. Very
unfortunate.
unfortunate.
There was
Happens
some
though.
really cool tech, but you know,
He wasn't properly able to close it. Yeah.
Kachuralak, my one tip to you, if you're watching this, I think you are gonna watch this. You're sub to the channel, gives you access to VODs. My one tip to you is to practice more, because the tech was there, man. The tech was there, but there was a lot of mismanagement. Losing the port because you only had one there. A lot of micro mismanagement. You had like 10 on tile, 12 on tile when you could have spread it out a little bit better. And
Mm-hmm.
also the IC production, as well as the focus tree path. I think it actually does play an impact, like especially when you're doing what you're saying, where you're trying to build the IC efficiency up fast, right? You should go for the IS tech first before the spawn in, because you will get efficiency on the better tank faster, and you will also spawn in better tanks.